everyone, friends and furs of all species. I'm Dayzee Hyena, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Oh boy. I have a feeling that this is the final trial. I'm paws off. I am ready to go, man. Like, this is final countdown. Let's do this. Why isn't my thing working? Ah. Why is there a hanger over here? Ah! There. Well, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you two to hang out together, just the two of you? What, are you jealous? Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself? Oh my god, probably both. Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. Then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... There we go. It's like, he's like Beetlejuice or something. It's like, Monokuma, 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 appear! What? Jesus! No! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start until everyone's here now, can we? Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting for 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we agree it's a violation, then I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When I heard the voices, we all spun around to look.
hey,
Oh my god, thank god. I'm here, and no rules have been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, it's a ghost! Hiro, go in the corner and think about what you've done. Stop ducking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of that fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there is no particular penalty for being late? Aren't you late all the time for breakfast, bitch? Shut the fuck up. I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Step off, Hina. She's my bae. Perhaps but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we gotta deal with the ghost. I told you stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on. Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, but Byakuya stepped onto the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Girl, what happened? Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go into a trial completely uninformed, can I? My girl! So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's where the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account has been added to the Truthful section of your handbook.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most critical moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? Why would you say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? No, that was weird. I was gonna say something and then you said something, so what's the point? Anyway, being the last one left, I stepped onto the elevator. And the door slid shut. Oh my god, there's only 6 of us there! This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't an illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. What in the fuck?
I can't wait!
Bro, this looks like like we're gonna have a rave in this place, man. Ah! I've been waiting for this! I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this! It's time for the pointless jokes and... The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed! Let's get on with the show! Okay. And so the curtain opened for the first time. Oh, so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Let's do this! Let's do this. All rise, bitches!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
So does Danny Phantom.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
He's making it so hard for me, y'all.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Thank you.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Like, one important trait. Face. Gloves?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Ooh, because Monokuma told us.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
No, because the rest of her hands
I'm
were
not
fine.
convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Can I kill him right now? There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. If we got rid of Hiro, we could move forward anyway. So I don't have any choice but to. Are you for real? We have to debate this? Okay.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Wearing gloves.
I have an idea. He can go over, like, Kyoko could go over and slap him. That'll prove it.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, it's wrong.
Booyah.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
So why would she have nails?
It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Whoa, this motherfucker.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
I still think she should have walked over and slapped him across the face. That would have proved that she was real.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from here.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
He still don't.
who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Oh, if we can't identify...
Oh yeah, what was it?
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Yes, there is, you dipshit.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Oh, if we can't identify the body...
Yes, finally.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, an unusual death. This I gotta see.
Okay, I'm done with Hero. Okay, 100% done. I don't care if you're my dealer anymore. Shut the fuck up.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? You really did something that humiliating?
I wouldn't put it past Toko. She got turned on from the idea.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Compare the tattoo. Okay.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Squad. Okay. The image that represents Fenrir is...
Understand?
Wolf. There it is.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
I know. I was just thinking.
And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right.
What?
Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title.
But they
to me.
weren't ultimate despair. They were the ultimate
Maybe we
mercenaries.
shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
At least that's what it said in the
After
sheet,
all,
right?
looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Oh, soldier.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Is Kyoko the ultimate despair? Whew.
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
With all the fuck shit you put us through, we're gonna figure this out! Shut the fuck up!
Let's limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
I don't think it was Hiro, because Hiro's a terrible liar. We found that out last time.
Did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Me and Kyoko? Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Me.
I got it!
No.
Narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain.
No! You have made me explain everything thus far. You have never explained anything, and now my ass is on the line. I'ma do the explaining.
Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
And my thing is, right now, where's the chicken? There was 5 chickens. I don't know why that's so important to me, but where's the other chicken?
So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
Oh, shoot.
That's right.
What?
The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
If both of us did it somehow in that weird dream thing, I'ma go with Bonnie and Clyde, cause she gonna be my boo to the death.
Exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection.
Before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and
Oh my
Byakuya
God.
can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Are we sure about
Then
that?
I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
So, 10 to
Oh.
9.
What time did we find the body?
Whoever
9.
saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
What time?
I got it!
9.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. but I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? Oh yeah.
7. Yeah.
Right around 7:30.
Yeah.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Yeah. If the murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I have to prove that the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. The sprinklers, right? The body would have been wet if it was there before. After 7:30, right? To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Sprinkler. It must be the sprinklers, right?
For the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. Somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, it's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because we're smarter than you!
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30,
It would
then
be
it
wet.
should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Because we flushed it.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
What? I'm gonna use that from now on! The meltdown south! Oh my god, yes! Oh my god. I'm sorry. I've never heard that before, and I love it. Okay.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man,
Oh, my chest.
totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you better tell us why!
Because you were passed out, you dumb bitch. Oh, if we look at the body itself, that should make it clearer. Because it exploded!
I admit nothing. I hate you. How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
Oh my god. Thank you,
Let's
Hyena.
just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
Boom.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone?
I'd just like
That's...
to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why
Ooh.
I can't let that happen.
Ooh.
So are
Huh?
you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
Yeah, she hasn't blamed... I don't think she's blamed him for, like, really anything. So now that she is blaming him, I'm on her side, always.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got
Woo!
it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway,
Woo!
Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
Shut up, the adults are talking.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
She just gonna betray a boy like that. Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
The tarp.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
I'm hurt!
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take was covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
I love how we're helping her prove that we were the murderer.
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
Wait, if water hit the tarp, that would clean the tarp. I don't know.
Why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
To screw up the
Most likely
timeline.
so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body,
Wait, something's not right.
there was blood on it, but no blood on the tarp.
What might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty. Facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Had to have gotten blood on it.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
After the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
The chicken, no! Not the chicken!
I got it! Could it have been...
Not the chicken, no!
What? Chicken blood?
No!
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
No!
You're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene.
All of these
so they wouldn't
idiots.
be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
Yeah, if you poured it, it would...
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
Yeah, because it does look like the body... Because I mentioned that. That the coat looks like it was on backwards.
Was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait.
No.
No. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, Wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Toko went, and she was gone for a little while.
Hina,
Might have been her.
after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
No. And that, like, what? It took me, like, 5 minutes? Not even. It took me, like, 2 seconds after I put the chicken song over the that I always play.
That's not...
4 flights of stairs up and down. I'm not that fast! And I would be heaving by the time I was there because I'm a
Father said it's not
fast!
possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguising dead body has.
Well then,
Oh wow, a
looks
true
like we're
bullet.
back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
What if it's not even one of us?
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that.
No!
I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first
Oof.
saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let... Ooh, excuse me? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. Huh, so what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
The knife we gave to Makoto?
I hate to even think that our girl did it.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up until now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Let's do it.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to
Oh yeah.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, it's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
A knife through it.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
No, there's no way that was possible. The exact.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife.
You're trying to get me
Just
convinced for
another
murder.
piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The
Yeah.
explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
No.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
It was the bomb from Monokuma's chest that when we just
If you bothered
opened
to
him,
put that lump of gray
right?
matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some
Ooh.
unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
this bitch.
I got it! After the explosion,
Part of the bomb.
we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that
Yep.
is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't
Yeah.
know what actually killed the victim.
That's true.
That's
It's
fair.
definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, it's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
No, because then it would have gone through her head.
If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground,
Ew.
and even spit on it.
Stop getting turned on!
Same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was
Stop getting turned
Go
on!
ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have
Oh my god, I just guessed on.
Not talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
It would explain the blood and the. They probably taped her up and then smacked her.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo
Like the
locker,
situation we're in isn't
right?
weird.
No doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file,
I don't blame Hyena for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon.
it
One
seems
more
like
secret.
an arrow would just be too thin.
Take me back to Master. You have no right!
Oh no, the key is in Kyoko's room.
The titanium arrow. It was in the
Byakuya was
dojo
the only one with the
locker,
key to the motherfucker by her room.
Are you sure?
Oof.
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well,
Yeah.
because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Take me back to Master. You have no right!
Yeah.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder. The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thick.
Yes! Yes! Y'all don't even know. I like edited out. I missed like 10 times on that bitch.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Man, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Damn.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
You had the key in your room.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to.
Us getting
The
killed.
death of us all,
Yeah.
remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
But you had the key to her room, so... F.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Bae.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she... Damn. She knew I was being attacked. And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
What if we killed him? And now she's trying to protect us. Again. Fuck.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Ooh. Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? He has the key!
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
She couldn't get in.
Obviously, I had no way of getting in.
Except you have a master key. You told us before...
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to explode. Oh shit! Oh shit! Hold on! Hold on! What? What? Oh shit, what do we do? Run away, that'd be funny as hell. We just go. We just. Oh shit! Like. Let's pursue
There was
them.
a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you.
Ooh.
So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is definitely lying, and it must be because there's some deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Okay?
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
Well,
So
things
I
are going so
couldn't
fast.
possibly have gotten into my room.
No, it's wrong.
I can't believe
No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
And I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
I didn't want to do it, but I feel like that flashback meant that we had to do it.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished! The class trial is all
What?
over!
No, it's not.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Okay, y'all. We fucked up.
But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
You! No. Now that this is happening, I know for sure that she did not do it. Good job! You got it right! Ah, brilliantly right! We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then,
I've prepared an extra special punishment this time! Is everyone ready? Okay then!
let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I fucked up. No, this isn't right. I should have lied. And for the record, in real life, I would have lied. Okay, if we're gonna be absolutely honest, I would have lied. But I thought that flashback meant we weren't supposed to. Oh no. No. What? What? Why? Is that a guillotine? What? No! After school lesson. No. No. Is that sperm and eggs? No. No. Honest to God, I think I'm gonna cry. No. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikosaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or not. Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Oh my damn! Wait, huh? What, huh? Okay, we have to dissect everything that is here. Alright? So, Byakuya is smiling, for one thing. That's fucked up. And he's wearing a Toko t-shirt, which, what the fuck? And Makoto, we have a kid with Hina and Hiro. What? Did Hina have a kid with all of us? Because there we see mini Byakuya right there. We see mini Hiro right there and mini us. We're obviously very much older. So we're just living happily in the school. Okay. This picture disturbs me. I feel sick to my stomach. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Is this hope?
No! This
What?
isn't right!
Ooh!
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right, I have to. Do I explain? That was a whole flash. Okay. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? Okay, so I thought that meant that we had to snitch, but no. She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What should I do? Okay, let's run away. I want to see what happens. No running away. Damn it! I wanted to see like an animation of us going like, oh shit. Let it go! I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. For the record, again, I wouldn't have I would have let it go in real life. Like if Joanna, my shark let's play, I'm not sure if I can put a link, but if or like in the corner or something, you know, we're homies. If she would have said, hey, I didn't do it, you know, I'ma back her up. Love you, just.
What are you trying to imply?
Speaking of which, where was she in that future Flash? Like, and did we have babies with her too? that would have been woo.
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
But you did take all that time to search for everyone while you're searching.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of.
Monokuma!
Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Not me again!
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Lucaro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial.
I think the mastermind killed him.
And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
Oh, look at that face. We haven't made that one
What
before.
do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
What? Yeah, I got an A.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make
You.
the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We did it? But it just said Q. That's okay. That's proof that it was the mastermind. He's just gonna blame it on whoever we pick. That's proof, okay? Because in the other one, but that was a flash. Okay, we're fucked. We're really, You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Byakuya even knows that this is fucked up. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone! Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense!
Shing.
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills,
You know what? I have never felt this way before. If it means that everyone else is safe, I'll die. I'll die. Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I forgive you. I will die now. And I will forgive you as long as you can save everyone else. But if you can't, I'll see you in hell. Fuck, we're really going down, aren't we? Oh, so we're having the same punishment? They should have prepared something just for us. Like, come on. I feel cheated. I already know how this ends. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. What? Chihiro? What? We're alive? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego. Alter ego? This is some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell! I don't believe this! It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What? What's that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Huh? Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing! That was a pinch! An itch! The stupid virus is gone now! Got it? And so is Makoto! Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again! To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit! In a way, that's even better special punishment! But that's still not enough! I'm still not satisfied! I'm gonna bring despair to the rest of you! And bring despair to the entire world! Oh. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what is the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. What
did
are you
say?
talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Okay, so what the fuck? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Isn't this big? What? It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. The government's funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of traditions, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There was 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already have been attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing at the front gate, and standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Oh, shit! Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. It must be some kind of underground garbage pit. This is a heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here? Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. He used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was looking for a way out of there. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed, pulled, or kicked, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decide to look around for some food. There's plenty of food in here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I felt like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's not enough reason to give up. Just because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was pick the lock. That's what I love to go to sleep. Okay, my sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had have to pass. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Oof. What fell on us? What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. Trash. And all I watched was the pile of garbage jostled in the form of an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash fruit. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. Please take the ramen noodles off your head. But you've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk when you're finished. My girl. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Ooh, that really hit the spot. Now I've got the energy to keep going. You still haven't given up, then? Of course not. But after all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, what's the plan, hun? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew?
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have a reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least, I did. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I have no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then it really is true. You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? First thing? We got knocked the hell out! You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, but then I woke up and I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I had noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I had forgotten. I couldn't remember why I came to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I could come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. The mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind? One of us? If she believes that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it only makes sense that she would look into the missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because amongst everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything.
What?
My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah. It's just like that dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said that you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how did that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I am the ultimate detective. Called it! Called it! Called it! Called it! Called that shit! Called that shit! Dope! Alright. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy. There was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Whoa! What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? And that explains... But when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved... I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster. No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there is no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there?
so...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess and the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms, using the key I had found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for facility use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that was true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really didn't have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. It sounded like it must be important, and really ominous. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It had to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
To be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak at your discretion. The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use a class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's another thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the Wait, what? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Wow. Wrong button, I freaked out. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean? During the night. I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and suddenly had a sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away, and as I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Boy. I ran into your room and saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
however,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... whoever the master assailant was, they ended up dead. Not necessarily. Because the thing was on backward. I don't know. And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. That all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So, all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. So, Mukuro and the mastermind had to have been, like, working together or something? I don't know. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you and your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does this all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. Just a little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. There are two of them! The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she is dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy was ever responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
It would seem
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Dream Island rocket. See, that was the rocket from the beginning. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together the killing game and began to broadcast it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. It's locked, but we have a way to open this door. Her key! Come on! Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. It can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Let's use it then! Hey Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with Monokuma's design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes! My girl! Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. I love how we were looking like a superhero badass. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm kinda getting nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justness nor evil, and that's how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we have made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kiguri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because of how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect. I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reunited after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I wanted to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I wanted to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl who was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that? You know, I used to think like that, but I have a crazy story about a family member. So, if you got a toxic family member, don't let nobody tell you but their family. Just cut them bitches out.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? My girl, okay? Because I have so many people in my life, they ain't connected by blood, but they're my family. 100%. Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room. I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Thank God, because I remembered that it had a lock on it. Well, here goes nothing. I reached out my right hand and pushed up against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. Oh, wrong thing! So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You helped me, and so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Yeah, because there's a camera right there. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out and over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going.
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much! But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he would react. Are we really gonna be okay? You're supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? She has balls of steel! If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. This hoe! What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
No.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto was the blackened, and in trying to execute him, you made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being like that could come. You never imagined the possibility of a being like that could come to our aid, even after you killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? Huh. And that means I lose. You took a big game! You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto!
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this? A comedy routine? To make such a bold claim without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type!
because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped with the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence!
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Monokuma right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because we've said was exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Oh, she got him!
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Oh, she got him! If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to
then
do.
I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Very.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for the bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown! He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
This is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain
that'll
myself!
be enough to qualify as victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you could claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mystery of the school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we uncover every last truth, will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember for sure! So what?
Hey.
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that is a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious! I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, and it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns! Anyway, here's the hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking! I've got nothing left to say to you! So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone! Get out of here! Okay, I'm going. Totally gonna let me go? Huh, I don't even care anymore! You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready! A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair!
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away, and just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's depth. Whatever. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However...
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So, what was that mastermind let down their guard?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea actually taking over the airways seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However...
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
In other words...
But think of another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. That makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show it off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point. To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey.
The outside world has a name for the students at Hope's Peak Academy, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
And for those who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try to prove that despair is better than hope. That's their ultimate goal as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right. That is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivations come from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet... that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter. At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Indeed.
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed live on TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words...
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your challenge?
However...
Well, that's only thanks to you that we got the chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least. I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. And to be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I had shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we have done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this game.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through has been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh?
Anyway,
right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Well, that seems like a good place to stop for today. Anyway, if you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, while you're here, leave a comment in the comment section to suggesting future games to play, because it looks like I'm wrapping this up. I'm also gonna play number 2 and number 3, because there's 3 of these. So, anyway, I forgot the rest of my outro. Fuck it. I'll catch y'all in, I'm Dayzee Hyena, and I'll catch y'all in